Okay, so we're going to put these together, segments, recaps, all that stuff, so I can file a story tonight, but also get this onto the YouTubes. Kim Clavel becomes a two-division world champion. One of the more interesting figures. I thought that she was going to kind of become a superstar. She wins the Pat Tillman Award. She's a nurse. She goes to the front line during the COVID-19 pandemic, wins a world title, and then loses it in her first defense. Now she's a two-division champion. She beats Sol Cudos. Punch Stats said the fight was close. To me, the fight wasn't close per se because Kim Clavel was landing the more spectacular shots. She was dictating the fight with her hand speed, with her foot speed, with basically just more attributes. She had more ability in the ring. She really controlled the fight. She fought the fight she needed to, and she showed some ability to fight back from adversity and toughness. She got cut in the fight, never really even faltered from what she was doing. Cudos landed shots, but the big thing about this fight was Cudos couldn't sustain her offense. Kim Clavel, even in moments where things weren't going her way, she was always able to put punches together. And when I saw those punch stats, they were kind of crazy to me because I just couldn't fathom that that was what I was seeing. But I suppose, people that do that stuff, they're very good at what they do. The more interesting thing is after the fight, Clavel calls out Yokasta Valle. Yokasta Valle is also a champion in the division. She has a fight coming up November 14th. She wins. Her and Kim Clavel it's a great fight. It's a great fight in the post-Sinise Estrada era. And Sinise carried this division. Sinise is one of the best fighters of the last 20 years. And Sinise was so good, you found out about each and every one of these fighters because of Sinise's talent. In the era when Sinise has left the division and is no longer around, these are probably two of the more interesting fighters at or around this weight class. So I think that what's interesting about this isn't just the win. It's, okay, I won. Who's the best champion? When can we make that fight? That makes boxing more interesting. That makes 2026 interesting because we know MVP will make fights like that. They're both with MVP, and that's a fight I want to see. Kim Clavel is a fighter that, honestly, I don't know a ton about. I know that she has fast hand speed. I know she works hard. I know the element about her being a nurse, but I haven't really unpacked her story. I haven't seen her perform. Yoka has really earned my respect by her ability to challenge herself. Even when she lost to Sinise, I thought she put up a great performance. I just thought Sinise had too much experience and was one of those special fighters. That's a great fight to kind of sort out where people fit in the division. I'm going to throw in my last thoughts on the MVP card. Two other thoughts. It's women's boxing mainly on my thoughts. Tamtha Bowe is more than likely the best women's middleweight. I think you can make a case. Maybe Kay Scott is there. But Tamtha Bowe, to me, is the best in waiting. She fought an opponent, no disrespect to the opponent. I can't recall the person's name. It's a hard name for me to pronounce. First left hand of meaning that she lands. The fighter's down. She gets up. She's on unsteady legs. They call the fight off. The minute she gets a belt, she's going to be a champion. The minute she gets a title fight, she's going to dominate. This is someone who is going to create interesting matchups with people like Clarissa Shields, Shadeja Green, Franchise Cruz, DAZN. Tamtha Bowe is a very interesting new figure because she is a power puncher. She is a technician. And I think what's fascinating is no one's really looking at her as those. Normally when you see someone in women's boxing or boxing in general, you hear someone going, oh man, they're getting a lot of knockouts. They're doing this, they're doing that. With her, maybe it's the division, maybe whatever it is, that she's moving quickly. I think this is her fourth pro fight. You're not hearing as much of the hype about, wow, this puncher, this and that. She's a real problem, and I think that there's a good case that she's the future. One interesting thing was, I should look up the name of the fighter. Let me see who the fighter was. But Naomi Valle, the younger sister of Yokasta Valle, she lost on the undercard tonight to Frederica Messiri. And my takeaway on this fight was, at this point in Naomi Valle's career, she doesn't have the ability to handle a physical fight completely. She lost a point for holding. The physicality component to boxing, she doesn't quite have that. And that's an issue, right? That's going to be an issue moving forward because she just met a fighter who was aggressive, pushes forward, didn't necessarily sit traps, but she was just physical. and the physicality gave her issues. I'm not completely sure what the scores should have been. It felt like, a pretty close fight. The scores were wide, what have you. But to me, the big takeaway is if she's going to get to the next level, she has to handle physicality better, because she really didn't have an answer for the physicality of her opponent, and that kind of surprised me with her first fight with MVP. So those are the things that stood out to me about the most valuable promotion show. So now, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And I'm either going to drop another video for you to watch on YouTube, or if you're listening on the Substack, you're going to get the second video right now.